Life sometimes tests us in ways that reveal the true depths of our inner strength. Adrian Howlett's story is one such tale, a testament not only to the clash between fear and hope, but also to the extraordinary power of human will. Adrian Howlett was an ordinary person, engaged in the daily routine of life. One day, he ventured into a remote area to conduct research on forests. While examining the terrain, an unexpected accident occurred. An underground cave with a fragile roof collapsed beneath his feet, burying him several feet underground. As soil and stones fell on him, Adrian realized he had been buried alive. The weight pressing on his body was immense, but he could still breathe. Darkness, suffocation, and the fear of death began to take hold of his mind. But instead of giving in, Adrian tried to calm himself. The first thing Adrian did was assess his body to check for any severe injuries. Fortunately, he was not critically hurt. He searched his pockets and found a lighter, a small knife, and a mobile phone filled with dirt and no longer functional. These seemingly trivial items were about to become his lifeline. Adrian understood that the most critical factor was to conserve oxygen. He avoided deep breaths and tried to regulate his breathing. In the darkness, he began to analyze the structure of the surrounding soil. He realized the earth was soft and the stones were not very large. Gathering his mental strength, Adrian devised a plan. He thought that if he removed the soil bit by bit, he might be able to create a pathway. Using the knife, he started digging the soil around him. The task was extremely challenging as the loosened dirt kept falling on his face, but Adrian persevered by keeping his eyes shut and covering his mouth. After hours of hard work, Adrian managed to create a small space where he could move his arms freely. He lit the lighter to better assess the situation. A faint glimmer of light rekindled hope in his heart. As time passed, Adrian's body began to feel the toll of exhaustion. His hands were injured, and dehydration left him weak. But he had made a promise to himself not to give up. With every passing moment, he encouraged his mind, believing that it was possible to reach the light. He developed a methodical way of removing the soil to avoid further blockages. Slowly but steadily, he inched upward. Whenever he felt too tired, he paused briefly to let his body and mind recover. After nearly 12 hours of relentless effort, Adrian sensed that the soil was becoming looser and the air pressure was changing. Gathering all his remaining strength, he pushed through the surface. Moments later, a ray of light pierced his eyes. He had made it to the surface. Adrian took a deep breath and, overwhelmed with emotion, shed tears of joy as he looked around at the world above. It had been the greatest test of his life, and he had passed it.